let us all do we can to build a better future. Force the debate. Dare I say it, I'm going to push it further. If there won't be a debate, then force the town halls. What am I talking about? Well, there is now more talk amongst people in the media and all of the citizenry in the United States saying they want to see a debate take place. And if a debate won't take place, then let's talk about doing another town hall, be it online, on Twitter Space, or on a podcast, or anything of that nature. I want to pull this up here because ever since DeSantis made that announcement that he's going to be announcing his presidency on Twitter Space, more people are asking if Elon Musk will do the same for other presidential candidates, other town halls, other events. Now, I hope that all technical glitches will be fixed by that time, but the internet is a very powerful tool. And in this day and age, third-party candidates, libertarians, Greens, and yes, Marianne Williamson's campaign, RFK Jr., Trump, etc., are going to have a more of a larger online presence. Traditional media just can't do it anymore. And if the DNC won't do any debates, well, then it's going to be up to Marianne Williamson and RFK Jr. to make their presence seen and heard amongst voters. The same thing will heavily apply to also libertarian candidates and Green Party candidates and other independent candidates that are running for office. Let's play this video here from Case Study QB.
Last night said basically I'm not a DeSantis guy, all politicians, candidates are welcome on this platform. Be curious if we could get maybe President Biden to do like a half hour, 1 hour live, just totally off the cuff.
Yeah, dude, you see Biden do that. He's going to be rambling on and on like a senile old man, but whatever. It'll be epic.
Scripted, taking questions from the public could be a powerful messaging tool for him.
Yeah, but the history between Biden and Elon Musk is not a great one.
Well, somebody else could host it, right?
No, but just the idea that Biden didn't invite Elon Musk to the White House for any of the EV things, that kicked off some very bad blood.
Elon Musk has an EV business?
Yeah, Elon Musk
has
been very kind of angry and has talked about how he's been angry about that. So,
well, I guess Elon Musk might be a little bit angry with Biden, but you know, sometimes there's just trouble in paradise. But I also want to pull this video up here too, where people are calling for a force of debate. Again, Robert Kennedy Jr. and Marianne Williamson are getting double digits in the polls. This is a recent one. But look, Americans view Biden and his current health with some concern. There's no denying that Joe Biden clearly has some, well, critical issues with his mental facilities. Simple as that. Let's pull up this video. Again, shout out to Case Study QB. He is wrongly being censored.
Another poll shows both the Biden 2024 primary challengers are in double digits. Biden sitting at 64%, while Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Marianne Williamson are both at 11%. Basia, what do you make of these numbers?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. They both have a case to demand a debate at this point, I think. 11%, I mean, who would have thought that Marianne Williamson, RFK, would get there so soon after announcing? I think it's great that, you know, Democratic voters are going to be given a real choice. And I really hope that this primary shakes out to be a really significant one.
Some of the comments that Robert Kennedy makes, I totally agree with.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a libertarian, and right. He seems to see things down the middle. I don't know how you.
Well, I think he sounds actually like a Joe Manchin.
He does.
Like Fox News, stop. All right. I don't want to come in here and help out RFK Jr., but don't start comparing him to Joe Manchin. All right, stay on point.
Which I would describe as a blue dog Democrat, you know, someone that we could probably, as Republicans, sit across from the table from and agree on some issues, substantive issues, and that ability to actually cross the aisle is sorely lacking. And yeah, I think the young RFK or the second RFK makes a strong case for himself.
The reason he resonates with me is because I think, well, I'm an independent, and I feel like most people I hang out with are.
No, Fox News. You're not independent. Don't take our word. That's our word, not yours, Fox.
Hanging out in the middle. You might lean to the right on some issues,
Right,
you lean to the left on other issues, but he's coming out like an independent, which
I'm all for the youth.
right in the middle.
Yeah, for the
I like
youth
that.
movement.
So, again, we are seeing more people being made aware of both RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson's rise in the polls. Again, Democratic voters want somebody else than Biden. I keep on saying this on the show before, that there are some severe issues with Biden's inability to come up with a coherent sentence. He clearly is struggling mentally. And there's no denying that the Democrats are doing everything they can to hide him. Now, the real question is, will the campaigns of Marianne Williamson, RFK Jr., yes, even Greens and Libertarians, start investing their time more on social media, Twitter Spaces, going on podcasts, and actually having an online presence? Because for a long time, we've seen a lot of presidential campaigns, including Libertarians and Greens, dismiss independent media, podcasts, and the power of what social media can do. Traditional media, corporate media, is all in for the establishment. The establishment media like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, they've made it clear that, all right, they're going to circle a wagon somewhat around Joe Biden, but even they have to occasionally address the fact that Democratic voters want somebody else. Same thing applies to third parties, too. Don't ever expect open, kind, and fair treatment from corporate media. Independent media and an online media platform should have been their plan from 2016. That's what they should have been doing to build a real third-party movement in this country. That goes for both the Greens and Libertarians. The fact that they didn't, even I have to question, why were they so dumb to wait? I want to pull up this video here, where now we're seeing a conversation talking about how Robert Kennedy believes that he's the only Democrat that can beat Trump. Now, I don't want to see Biden versus Trump because it's going to be two old men fighting over a cold bowl of soup. I think it would be far more interesting to see the likes of RFK Jr. potentially debate Trump. No matter how this election cycle plays out, though, let's be very clear here. The DNC has made it abundantly clear to all of us that they are the ones who pick the candidate. They don't allow the voters to pick the candidate. They're the ones who do it. So let's pull up this video.
Kennedy believes he's the only Democrat who could defeat Trump. Have a listen.
I can run against Trump better than anybody else can.
Do you think you could win?
I know I can win. I get many of the same supporters. I will take support from President Trump. No other Democrat can do that. My supporters are probably equally Republican and Democrat at this point. And I get more independent voters than anybody.
Meanwhile, one major issue that occurred under President Trump is continued under Biden, the need for lockdowns following the pandemic. And that's an issue that Kennedy has really exploited. Listen to this.
I can confront President Trump with the lockdowns, which no Democrat can. Lockdowns, he closed 3.3 million businesses. He closed 41% of the black-owned businesses in our country would never reopen again. There's a war on the poor. It was a war on minorities. It was the destruction of the middle class.
One of the points that I found in this poll is that there are so many issues that Kennedy is pushing that really attract not only liberal Democrats, but Republicans as well. Republicans, for the most part, are coming to oppose the lockdowns, to be suspicious of the vaccines, to oppose mandatory vaccination, particularly for children, to worry about pesticides in our food, to worry about excessive use of antibiotics, to be outraged at internet censorship, to be determined not to let.
I want to make a statement here from one of our live stream audience members. Jamie Teisel writes, RFK Jr. could win the general election, but he cannot win the Democratic primary, though. He'd have a better chance winning the Republican primary. Again, to all the RFK Jr. supporters and Marianne Williamson supporters, there's going to have to be a plan to deal with and address afterwards what took place during this 2024 primary. Now, I want to hope that both campaigns and any other campaign that enters the Democratic primary race will actually do something that Bernie Sanders never had the soul or heart to do, and that is call out the DNC for committing election fraud. They did it twice in 2016 and 2020, and Bernie Sanders allowed it to happen. He didn't fight for his supporters or his volunteers. He let corporate media smear them. He let the establishment smear them. I remember the 2016 convention in Philadelphia, seeing Bernie Sanders supporters getting spit on, physically assaulted by Clinton people, not Trumpers, but by Clinton people. And as soon as Hillary got the nomination, then everyone was like, come on, let's go ahead and vote for Hillary. After that convention in 2016, I remember it. I remember walking out of that primary, out of that convention center thinking there is a 50-50 chance Trump can win this. And if the Democrats keep on playing these stupid games, they're going to learn a hard lesson all over again. But hey, the Democrats don't care if they win or lose. You know what this means? If there's a Trump presidency, more fundraising, more money, more fear-mongering. That's what they're going to do.
Electric meters in their homes keep track of every move you make. And all kinds of issues that are normally the Kennedy issues that are becoming the Trump issues and giving Trump access to an entire reservoir of Democratic votes he previously was not able to access. What do you think about that?
Well, this is why Joe Biden and the Democratic Party don't want to have a primary, because they know that Donald Trump would beat them on these issues. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is softening up Joe Biden right now. Most of the Democrats disagree with us on this, but a good chunk. If you've got 20%, 30% of the Democrats, if they agree with us on this, it'd be a landslide. So what they're trying to do is shut that down. That's why they've changed the rules in the Democrat primary. They're not awarding delegates until South Carolina.
And again, the Democratic Party, as a corporation, as a private entity, has already admitted that they know what's best for the party. Voters, you don't really have a say in the primary. You're irrelevant to them. They're the ones who pick who the establishment pick will be. And look, controversial statement, 2016, Trump was more democratically elected in his primary. And in the 2024 Republican primary, whoever it will be it Trump or DeSantis or Tim Scott or whoever else, they too will be more democratically elected in their primary than the Democrats, because the Republican Party does not have superdelegates. The voters, surprisingly, have more of a say on who their nominee will be. Now, again, the Republican Party is just as corrupt as the Democratic Party, but again, the Republicans have a more democratically elected primary than the Democrats. Democrats have superdelegates. Democrats have special interests. It's a foregone conclusion. The establishment is going to get who they want. If it's not going to be Biden, it's going to be somebody else. But it won't be Marianne Williamson, and it won't be RFK Jr. unless some sort of out of left field miracle happens. But I don't know what that looks like.
Right now, New Hampshire is just a show primary. So you know, the Democrats, they see how vulnerable Biden is on this. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is doing Trump's work for him on these issues, and it'll only help us in the general election.
Now, I want to pull up this other video here, too, because, again, the Biden campaign is trying to make themselves relevant in this election cycle. Biden's campaign trying to bolster small donor donations by spending on digital ads, as their organic digital reach is less than Trump. Now, if you've been watching Hard Lens Media and checking out our clips, occasionally I get some messages and comments where people say, hey, a Biden ad just played on your video. Hey, Biden's campaign ad is playing on your video while I'm waiting to watch it. What's going on? They're trying to make sure that you're aware to vote blue no matter who. But listen, folks, you know where I stand on the issue. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I'm going to vote independent and third party here in Illinois. And of course, I'm going to support citizen ballot initiatives. As for voting Democrat and Republican, that's not going to happen.
President Joe Biden's reelection campaign is flooding the zone in online ads in a way that is
Carlos Van Chang, Biden's campaign slogan, "Hey, Jack, I'm alive."
Which is different than what happened in 2016 and 2020. Now, if we looked through the ad archive on Facebook and Google and found that Joe Biden's campaign has already in its first month spent more than 3 times what Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis' campaigns and super PACs have spent all of 2023. They've spent over $2.5 million just in their first month. Now, there are a few reasons for this. One is that they want to show that there is great grassroots enthusiasm. One easy way to do that when they have to disclose their fundraising in July is to have a huge number of small grassroots donors. Now, one way to do that, you spend a lot of money online. A second reason is that their organic reach on their channels just isn't quite the same as Donald Trump's. You know, even
there's a reason why Donald Trump is able to reach more, because the candidate Trump is more livelier, has more action, has a more kick in his step than Joe Biden. Show of hands. Does anyone remember Biden speaking longer than an hour, maybe 30 minutes without slurring or stammering or going off subject, not relying on cue cards or cheat sheets? This is Joe Biden we're talking about, who clearly is suffering from mental decline. Voters see it, but the DNC thinks all of you are too stupid to figure it out.
Even though Donald Trump was banned in the aftermath of January 6th, you've seen that his social channels on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere but Snapchat, where he remains banned, you know, it still is an incredible, huge footprint. He just has more followers than any of his Republican opponents or Joe Biden. Now, that Donald Trump has not really leveraged that advantage since being unbanned. He has not tweeted. He does not post very much on Facebook or Instagram, at least not in the way that he once did. He remains mostly confined to posting on his own social network, Truth Social.
To which I have to counter. Okay, he's posting on Truth Social. However, his fans and supporters are posting that stuff, those clips, those screenshots, onto Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. Trump doesn't have to lift a finger. His supporters will do it. That's why.
Now, we talked to a Biden advisor who confirmed to us that the campaign will never, ever, absolutely not join Truth Social.
So how do we end this segment? To all the campaigns, they're going to have to go onto social media. I do encourage Elon Musk to give the same opportunities to RFK Jr., Marianne Williamson, Libertarian candidates, Green Party candidates, and yes, even Donald Trump himself too. And Joe Biden. Why not? Throw them in there. All the campaigns are going to have to reach out to social media. Corporate media is dying and is no longer the powerhouse that it once was. Independent media is where it's at. And the Democrats can keep on saying, no, there will be no debates, no debates. But the American people want to see the debates, force the debates. So I will ask you this question, because we got one more video to play. But I want to ask you this question to the live stream audience. And this goes for all candidates, be they for 2024, be it Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Greens. Hashtag force the debates for all parties so you can see all these primary debates. Type 1 if you say, no, I don't want to see no debates. I don't want to see no town halls. I'm not interested. Type 2 if I want to see these debates. All of them. Force the debates for all of them. Force the town halls for all the candidates, for all the parties. I want to see it. So I want to play this final segment here, and it's kind of interesting because it is a Biden campaign ad. I really don't know what to make of it, but, you know, this is his overall message to the American people, I guess.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband.
Where are those laughs coming from?
And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip.
Sounds like someone breaking in.
It's just the storm, Barack. Sit down.
I'm fighting zombies because I heard I would get chocolate chip ice cream.
What the fuck is happening?
By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. I think I'm kidding. I'm not. God.
Joe, take your meds.
Oh, sorry, Elon. I forgot what time it was. Hopefully this storm passes soon. It's so dangerous.
Agreed, Joe. So dangerous.
Wow. What an incredible campaign ad. You know what? It might have changed my mind. Hell, I'll vote for Joe Biden just so we get some of that Chinese chocolate chip ice cream. Let's make it happen. Force the debates, force the town halls. Hopefully they take place. And we here at Heartlands Media will be talking about it and giving our analysis of how this election is going to play out for 2024. But things are looking pretty good. And I'm excited to see how it all plays out.